When was the last time you did something for the very first time? That's the question author Seth Godin asked in his 2011 book, Poke the Box. And we are going to glean some golden threads from that book for students and for the classroom on this edition of the Knowledge Drop. Okay, so Seth Godin writes some positively awesome books for business thinkers, innovators, entrepreneurs. But as we like to do at NuMinds, we take these books full of gems for kind of the business world, and we try to glean goodies for the classroom, for the parent, for the student. And so that's exactly what we've done with Poke the Box. Okay, so Poke the Box is centered around this concept Godin calls initiation, which is basically the will, the desire, the habit, and even the plain old audacity to start something brand new, to begin something. Not just any old something, something with a high chance of failure, something unknown, unexpected. In other words, being a pioneer, right? He calls this initiation. And so what we did is we took his concepts from the book, his case studies in so many different environments in sort of the business world, and we're going to translate these to 4 core ideas that we think will promote initiation in the classroom for students, okay? So here we go. Ready to go here? Bear with me for a second for a metaphor I have for you. So if entrenched legacy expectations are kind of what keep us grounded in the normal and in the safe, then I think there's only one force strong enough that can kind of propel us out sort of this field of gravity. If those forces are kind of like the gravity that keep us grounded, then it seems to me that genuine curiosity is the one force strong enough to propel us off planet status quo. All right, cheesy metaphor, but humor me a little bit, come on. Okay, you get the idea here? So the question becomes, how do we generate genuine curiosity? How do we nurture environments where genuine curiosity can excel, can grow, and sort of propel students into this will for initiation that Godin describes? Okay, a few concepts. A lot of these are based on research, but to be honest with you, they're very experiential. Over the last 5 years, NuMinds has been creating a special kind of program outside of the regular classroom. It's given us the opportunity to have kind of a learning laboratory of sorts. And I have 4 key ideas that are proven in the NuMinds laboratory of learning that we think you may want to try. Okay? Number 1, mixed age learning environments. Okay? There are so many reasons why mixed age can help nurture a spirit of curiosity. Number 1, you have to take into consideration that asynchronous development, which granted is a whole nother knowledge drop topic, but in a nutshell, asynchronous development is the concept that any being, but in particular we're talking about students, develops different aptitudes, traits, and strengths at different rates, okay? So you may have someone reading at this level, they're doing math at this level, social, emotionally, they're right here, and so on. Infinite combinations across all kinds of aptitudes and subjects. A mixed age learning environment allows them to interact with intellectual peers. And if you just go through the research, especially for young gifted learners, about what's kind of the number 1 high impact thing you can do, it's let them interact with intellectual peers. And that's what a mixed age learning environment allows. In addition to the whole predisposition of a mixed age learning environment is that students can be driven by passion as opposed to something arbitrary like their grade or their birth date, right? So we've seen some magical things happen in mixed age learning environments. 99% of the worries or concerns that parents or teachers have, the objections that are raised, disappear quite quickly. Before you know it, the students themselves have forgotten those nominal designations like grade and age, okay? Magic things happen in mixed age learning environments. Number 2, how do we promote initiation, the will to start something brand new, to take risks in students? You have to create an environment that encourages leaps of failure. What? Failure? I said failure, not leaps of faith, although leaps of faith may be a component. Leaps of failure are grandiose, risky attempts to solve a brand new problem, to accomplish something brand new, and to honestly just take a huge chance and see what you come up with, okay? What we've found over the last several years at that creating these environments where a leap of failure is safe, okay? So maybe we're not jumping onto concrete, maybe there is a mattress there, so it's a safe place to try your leap of failure. Extraordinary discoveries, moments of unknowing, unpredicted revelations, unforeseen solutions have come. And only because we developed an environment where leaps of failure were kind of part of the norm, right? Really built into the whole system. All right, this next number 3 is going to be controversial, and we're not saying it's like the snap of a finger, it's going to happen overnight, but at least some of the time students need the opportunity to be in a learning environment removed of the burden of grades. In other words, the whole concept, the whole system of a nominal grading process is removed, at least temporarily, at least part of their day, at least in some learning environment. Why? Believe it or not, there is life after the carrot stick. And what we've found is, although it's challenging, it takes patience, if you can engender that genuine curiosity and develop curriculum that aligns with that genuine curiosity, you know what you get? Intrinsic motivation. A future knowledge drop topic is going to be the concept of deep work and how we kind of adapt that into deep learning. Okay, this is going to be something you hear more and more about in this era of multitasking. But basically, what happens when you engender intrinsic motivation? Those are the moments when time disappears. Remember our talk about the element and the flow state? Exactly. This is one way to get there, is to really promote that intrinsic motivation. You're going to get that deep learning, and guess what? They're not doing it for a grade. Grades are extrinsic motivation, okay? It's a false metric when it comes down to it. All right, and number 4, engendering genuine curiosity so that students have this will to initiate, that Seth Godin says is really the key to innovation, is embracing creative play, okay? Creative play, it's so important. The word play is a dangerous word to tread in an educational environment because we kind of have it embedded in us that play stops at preschool, okay? We know some school philosophies do embrace the power of play, but we think it needs to be much more widespread because it's an organic, powerful way to create this sense that risk-taking and that experimentation is natural and it's good. All right, the Imagination Foundation, an organization that was born out of Kane's Cardboard Challenge. Please watch that video after this one. Finish this one. There's only a few more seconds. Then go watch Kane's Arcade. It's going to blow your mind. If you don't trust me on creative play, please watch Kane's Arcade. But the Imagination Foundation themselves have stated, based on their research, and I quote, creative play allows students to open up their minds to what's possible, take chances, solve problems, collaborate, and become better creative thinkers and doers. Period. That's the power of play, and it's amazing. So, in quick summary, mixed age learning environments, taking leaps of failure, removing the burden of grades, and embracing creative play. 4 gems that we pulled out of Poke the Box by Seth Godin that we think if you can engender in your home with your child or in your classroom with your students is going to increase the chances that your students are going to engage in what Godin calls initiation. That is the will, the audacity to start something new. And frankly, folks, isn't that exactly what we need the next generation to do? Thanks for watching.